How is it going, folks? Welcome back to Prem. Today is the start of a brand new week, and with that comes a rather big episode. Today we are taking on Newcastle United away from home in the Carabao Cup third round. Yes, that's right, Newcastle United, a team with, well, a little bit of money in Football Manager, a team that have been on a steady decline over the last few years. Carlo Ancelotti is their manager. It's a trip up north. It is an away day, don't you fret. We're going to be heading, of course, to a Addons an away day, but before all of that, I got rather busy in the transfer window. Yeah, there's a lot to cover. Today is episode number 47 of Park to Prem. I hope you're doing amazing and I hope you're excited for today. If you are, slap a like on this video. I've not been doing that nearly enough lately. The YouTuber thing where you ask for likes. 2,000 would be amazing. Let's make it happen. It would make me happy. Now, since you were last here, we've played 7 matches, but to be honest, the big headline thing has been major squad upgrades, and those have been born off a couple of things. First and foremost, Apoku has left the building. He has headed to TNS. We picked him up on a free last year. He's moved for £86,000. And elsewhere, James Connolly has also moved to TNS, or rather, he will be moving to TNS. We have sold him for £110,000 to them. For some reason, they bid on him after the Welsh transfer window closed, so he's here till January. I didn't realise he wasn't going to leave right away, so he's not registered. But with those 2 players sold, it opened up the door to really add some upgrades to the team. I still felt like we were lacking, and I still felt like if we really want to establish ourselves in the Football League, some upgrades were going to be needed. As you can see here, 5 new signings. 2 of these started their careers at Guernsey. Now, we'll be honest, a little bit of sentimental Jack came out here when I decided to sign these 2 players, but the first is Ben AC, 25 years old. He can play left wing, centre attacking mid, or right attacking mid. You might notice we don't play with any of those kind of positions in our system, but for £25,000, I felt like he was worth picking up. You can see here, started his career at Guernsey quite a while ago now, headed over to Bristol City, and well, after a little bit of travelling around the Football League, a few years in League One, he's now joined us in League Two. He is back home. At the moment, I'm playing him as a centre mid on attack, and he does okay there. Now, the other former Guernsey man we've picked up is Tim Apsion. I'm almost certainly saying that wrong, so Welsh viewers, you're going to be able to correct me because it's a mental Welsh last name that scares me. It doesn't even look like a real name. Either way, he has joined us again. You can see, left Guernsey, went to Bristol City, and having, well, been released by Bristol City, he's now joined us. Now, the only bad news about Tim here is he arrived after the registration window, so he's not registered for the league. What that does mean is the striker makes his debut today, and look at this, 14 dribbling, 15 finishing, 14 first touch, 14 heading. The man is technically gifted. Now, 3 other players to talk about, one of which is a new club record transfer, Jay McGrath. Now, this guy, 26 years old, another centre-back. I've signed a lot of defenders this year. In fact, there has been a general squad overhaul this year. I feel like maybe not this episode, but maybe next episode, I'll do a bit of a who's who of the squad, because I can admit it, we have massively bolstered the team this year. It had to be done. Jay is one such addition. He has signed for us for £120,000 from Harrogate. Now, I'll be honest, when you look at his performances for Harrogate, he doesn't seem that great, but I do think this guy is perhaps our best player in the team. At 26 years old, very, very good centre-back. And if we just compare him with James Connolly, who of course we sold for £110,000, I think it's safe to say that Jay, for £10,000 net spend, is a massive upgrade at the back. We did also add a little bit more depth at the back, this with Johnny Arnott, 19 years old, was, if we look here, playing in the Southern Premier League, released once upon a time by Tottenham, had been playing for FC Sudbury, but for £6,000, he felt like a bargain, he felt like a kind of good deal, and at 19 years old, he will be a useful squad player. And the final of the new additions is Connor Panny. Now, I talked about this during pre-season. I wanted a box-to-box midfielder, kind of buzzy midfielder, kind of high energy, high stamina option, and I didn't really ever sign that player. So Connor Panny is that man, 25 years old, so far, 4 games played, 2 goals in the league, 7.25 rating, had previously, as you can see here, been playing for Barnsley, has been well established at League 2 level as well. I think this man is a very, very good player, and at 25 years old, I want to say it's a little bit of experience in our team. But actually, when you look at the squad here, the average age of the team is definitely going up at the moment. We have signed a whole lot of new, slightly older players, and when you look at the squad as a whole, whole, you can see here, we now have a squad of 28 players, which is perhaps a little on the large side. What I would say is there's some players here who maybe I'm keeping around for sentimental reasons. It's kind of bizarre, really. When you sort the team by star ratings, you start to realise that actually the biggest weakness in the team over the last few years, which was probably the centre-back position and the defence as a whole, is all of a sudden no longer the weakness. We've got a lot of very, very good defenders in our team, and in fact, we've got some very, very good players in our team, and I suppose the quality that we have is reflected in our form. Now, of course, last episode we beat Watford 4-3 in the Carabao Cup. That was a massive result, and we followed it up with a 6-1 win against Wycombe. We absolutely demolished them. They did have a sending off in this game, although it was a little later on, and Brandon Charles was the man of the show, and I'll tell you what, he's been the main man to start the year. 5 appearances in League 2, 5 goals in League 2, 8 assists in League 2. This man has 12 goal contributions in 5 league games. It's not sustainable. After that 6-1 win, we drew against Boston, of course. We were promoted with them last year. Away from home, it was never going to be the easiest of games. And after that, we took on QPR in the Carabao Cup. Now, their championship opposition, it felt like it would be coming back a little bit too soon, having just played Watford, to play QPR also in an episode. But in this game here, we won with literally the last kick of the game. Liam Stewart, a roaming playmaker. I didn't know he had this in his locker. So the game looked to be fizzling out into nothing. The corner was initially dealt with. Charles put it into Stewart. Impossible angle, I thought. Not for Liam Stewart, though. Having taken the corner, cut inside, smashed it in, and that was the only goal of the game. They had 2 goals ruled out. We rode our luck a little bit, but nevertheless, this was a really good result to end the month. Unfortunately, to start the month of September, we did lose against Grimsby at home. Grimsby Town, good little team, doing very well in this division. After that, we were playing in the Papa John's Trophy. I hate this competition because, well, they changed the format of it recently to have Premier League youth teams in it, and you get bonus points if you win a penalty in the group stage. It just doesn't really feel very football-y. The only silver lining, I suppose, is they're sponsored by Papa John's, but I think I prefer Domino's Pizza anyway. But yeah, a win in our opening game there. I'm not really bothered about that competition. There's loads of League One teams in it. It's just a distraction more than anything, something that adds to the fixture list. But good news is, it hasn't distracted us because after a brief international break, we took on Rochdale where we won 4-1, and then Solihull Moors, who were down at the bottom of the table, predicted to finish bottom. We beat 3-0. Robbie Smith, and you can see here, Panny getting on the score sheet. Panny, unfortunately, apparently he doesn't need a fitness test for this game against Newcastle. I don't think I'm going to risk him. Now, having recapped that start to the season, you might be surprised to see us down in 11th. I mentioned the international break earlier. Not many teams have international players like we do, apparently. So whilst I had that game postponed that was meant to be played in that break, everyone else still played. So as a result, we're in 11th place, but with 10 points in those 6 games played, we're in a really good spot where if we were to win our game in hand, we'd actually climb as high as 4th. So there was a fair amount in terms of transfers and fixtures to talk about today. Like I said, I think tomorrow I'm going to do a bit of a squad rundown and also have a look through the entire English Football League so we can see what teams have moved where. I've seen people asking for this in the comment section. I have heard you, but today I'm just a bit too excited and giddy to get into this game against Newcastle United. It is away from home. We're heading to St James's Park, so, well, you all know what that means. It means that we have to do an away day. I really wish I had a jingle still. Can someone write a jingle for Jack Does an Away Day that can play during the transition? I don't know. I'm not musically talented. It is worth noting, we are also doing Bristol Rovers today. So we're going to have 2 away days today for the away day fans out there. And well, this one, it might be the furthest up north we go, well, for a while, because we are heading to Newcastle and to St James's Park, which I don't know. I don't know where it is. Okay, don't fret everyone, I found the stadium. If you're wondering where is it, Jackie, I was actually looking in the right place. If I'd been on satellite view, it would have been a lot easier to spot because St James's Park, it's rather iconic. I say it's iconic. In my mind, it's iconic, but I'll explain why if I can get into the stadium, which, good news, I think we can. It's a solid start. We've got drone shots immediately. I tell you what, as we climb up the Football League and eventually hopefully get into Europe and do away days, we're going to get some fantastic stadiums to look at, aren't we? Here we are. Here is St James's Park. Now, St James's Park for me brings back memories of a niche game. I say niche. Did anyone want to play LMA Manager like on the PlayStation 1 years ago? Before I played Championship Manager, I played LMA Manager. In that game, you could design your own stadium. And I always used to end up with stadiums that looked like St James's Park where 2 of the stands would be massive because I designed them in the stadium builder to be huge, and then we ran out of money for the other 2. Now, I know that isn't what's happened here in Newcastle Stadium, but it is a rather odd contrast. I'm sure there's like an in-depth story. It's probably to do with all the houses and stuff behind the stand. I actually don't know the reason why 2 of the stands are quite small and then there's 2 massive ones. I didn't realise the stadium was on such a big hill. I mean, I'm trying to navigate the car park here. Is this a car park in the stand? Is this a first? A car park in the stand? I don't think we've had that before. Maybe this is why one of the stadiums is so big, or one of the stands is so big. It's just because it's a car park. I think I'm starting to learn why one of the stands is smaller than the rest. I can see why you might struggle to actually expand the stadium this way. Although what I will say is, it looks very, very cool from the outside, and more very solid car parking spots. Pleased to report as well, we can actually have a look inside the grounds. If you're wondering about this, I think this is the highest capacity stadium we've done for a Jack Does an Away Day so far. I mean, they've got giant flags. Should I be intimidated? I've clicked on a photosphere in the stadium. What is going on? Are they just concreted over the floor? What's this? What event is this? Someone in Newcastle must know. What is going on here? This is not a football match. Even the outside of the stadium feels quite intimidating. Are we in the big leagues now? Like, I feel scared. I mean, look at this. They've got an official club store that has 2 signs labelling it because it's so big. St James's Park, you might look a little bit funky. You might look like 9-year-old me stadium designs in LMA Manager, but decent away day. I still don't know what was going on during the pitch, but just for the fact that this ground here, this stand, is just a giant car park, gotta be a 7 out of 10, right? It's definitely not got anything to do with the fact that last week Stevenage fans were abusing me on Twitter for saying their stadium was bad, and I'm conscious of the fact there's more Newcastle fans. No, that isn't a factor. This is a good stadium. I rate St James's Park, proper city-based stadium, 7 out of 10. I was about to go higher. We don't change our ratings for consideration of Twitter abuse. Follow me on Twitter @WorkTheSpace. So with that all said and done, we've turned up for our pounding in the northeast. We are probably going to get destroyed here. Newcastle, pretty good team in Football Manager. In terms of our team, here is the squad, which I appreciate. When you look at it here, if you missed a couple of episodes and came back, you'd be sat thinking, I only recognise a handful of these players. Of course, Brandon Charles and Yer in the team. Apsion also making his debut for the club. Like I said, can't be registered for the league, so he's going to make his debut here. In the midfield, Trey George is back from injury. He's going to be slotting in. Has had a couple of appearances as he's built up his fitness with the youth team. Today's his kind of big return to the senior team. Alongside him, we've got Kelly at advanced playmaker, and of course, Stewart, who I've got very high hopes for. Liam Stewart. He is the reason we're here after his goal against QPR. Going to hope for more of the same from him. At the back, McGrath, going to make his live commentary debut, the club record transfer. And of course, he is going to be playing alongside Apaya, the Ghanaian, who is a very, very good player in his own right. And I feel like these two as a pairing, when I look at them, they are the very kind of classic League Two centre-back partnership. You have the one who's very good at defending and a bit more technical and stuff, and then you just have the bloke who's quick. That is Paul's job. Paul, you have 14 speed, mate. You're going to need to use all of it today. And of course, at left-back, Callum Williams, the club's top earner. He's really bad, everyone. I'm paying this man £1,600 a week. He's got a 6.72 rating so far. Yeah, he's not justifying his wages at the moment. Okay, let's see how we get on here. I'm looking at their team. Have they rotated it a little bit? Maybe a little. They've still got some very, very good players in their ranks. As for our team, I mean, you can see it here. We're sticking with the 4-3-3. This is the biggest away day so far. Oh, if we could win here, it'd be absolutely legendary. But I am realistic. Okay, not a good sign. Newcastle, corner, far side, first 5 minutes. Whip back post. Hernandez hits it. Simakan has a second effort that is blocked away. And, I mean, it's not hit the back of the net, so I consider that a win. It's not a great sign, is it? When you're 10 minutes into the game and your goalkeeper's already on a green rating. That means he's been doing stuff already. And I don't necessarily want that so early in this one. I don't want to start boasting, but we've survived half an hour. Do we get a shirt for that? We survived half an hour against Newcastle. I'd wear that shirt. I mean, can we do more than survive? Can we thrive? Charlton at right back gives it to Apsion, making his debut. Has 15 finishing, just as a reminder. I wish he'd shown it there. Just as a reminder, if it's all even after 90 minutes, this does go to penalties. I can't believe I'm even considering that. It's half-time, it's 0-0, and, I mean, there's not been that many highlights in this game. I feel like we've done okay. I'm going to tell the players I'm far from pleased, because if you tell them otherwise, they just get complacent. But look at this. Everyone is just about happy, and now there's a kick-off highlight. Why are we doing this to me, Football Manager? Stuart to appear. He's going to look to get it forward. Apsion can't win his header. Does have 14 heading as a reminder, so the man can win a header. I say that, his jumping reach lets him down. But if he gets his noggin on it, he's good. And, well, here he is again. I mean, that's 2 that he's missed. Eventually, he's going to hit the target. Right, you know what? I'm going to make some changes in this game. Pani is going to come in for his live com debut. This man might be our best centre mid. I don't want to say I'm in love with him, but at centre mid on attack, with the player traits he's got, he gets into some really dangerous areas. Elsewhere, Apsion, you know what? I've been patient with you, mate. You've not been very good today. We're going to bring in... Do I want to bring in Owen Phillips? You know what? I want to bring in Robbie Smith. And you know what? Ben Acey, on you come for your debut, mate. Come in at centre mid. I know you can't play here, but it's going to be fine. We'll play him on centre mid on attack, which is a role that suits his attributes. Pani will play at box to box. Fresh legs in the midfield. An hour played here. We do get a few more changes, but, well, we'll see how we get on for the next half an hour, because Newcastle are on the attack, and Sergi has scored. First goal of the season for him. Deadlocked broken just before the hour mark. I felt like we'd held on so valiantly here. I was starting to dream of a penalty shootout, and then... well, they just score from a throw-in. Disappointing marking. Good goal. But look, you know, we've been down in matches before and come back. I'm going to believe it can happen again. Charlton to Charles. AC, the man who started his career at Guernsey, and I can see why Bristol City released him. That dribbling there was shocking, but we've still got the ball. Let's keep some faith. Ball dinked forward. Unfortunately, not into a dangerous area, and... well, Newcastle are going to deal with it. Charles puts in one tackle. It has been brought to my attention, by the way, that recently I've been calling Brandon Charles Brandon Williams. Don't know why that started. Obviously, Brandon Williams is a real footballer. I think I'm thinking about the Scott Williams sell-on clause at Blackpool. It's constantly on my mind. We do also have a few Williams in our team. Oh my... I don't know what we've just watched, but it's not gone in, so everything's fine. Newcastle just playing the ball around at the back. They look very composed at the moment. Considering our free striker setup, they're dealing with it rather well when it comes to just playing out from the back. It's almost as if they've got superior quality. It's almost as if individual players on their team are paid more than our entire team combined. And now it's 2-0. I mean, we lived a dream. We had fun for an hour. But the reality is we're just not good enough. I will say this was a rather simple goal to concede. Just ball threaded through the middle. Fagioli, just unmarked. No one following him. Slots it away. That's probably the dream dead. 3 minutes of added time. There isn't going to be a miracle comeback. At the same time, maybe I'm kidding myself here. To lose 2-0 away against Newcastle. That's not the worst result in the world, surely. I mean, I've told the players I'm pleased with the performance. They're all delighted about it. Yeah, we're out the Carabao Cup. We were never going to win it anyway, but we've had an adventure, and I don't know, do we get any money for this? Do we get any money? What's our balance looking like? 987k. We've made about £200,000 off that game. We're nearly at $1 million in the bank. We'll take that. But I am afraid to say, if you were hoping for a miracle run that would see us get Europa League football as a League 2 team... no, don't be so ridiculous. Right, game number 2 today is against Bristol Rovers. They are knocking on the doors of the playoffs. It's away from home. I'm going to go straight to the Jack Dozen away day. No messing around. Let's get into that one. A win here could see us climb into playoff contention. Okay, so for today's second Jack Dozen away day, we're heading to Bristol and we're playing Bristol Rovers, not to be confused with Bristol City. Of course, Bristol City, once upon a time, our affiliate, Bristol Rovers, we've never had any affiliation with, but I feel like because we're like this with Bristol City, I really want to beat Bristol Rovers today. Now, this is a little bit of a fall from grace, isn't it? When you consider Newcastle's away day, then you look at this. You can kind of see there's levels to this game. What I will say is, good, strong car park from the satellite view. Hang on a minute. They've got a Jamaican restaurant connected to the stand. Jerk King Bristol. Oh, my word. I really do want chicken right now. I'm now wondering, have they got any other facilities connected? No, they've just got a Jamaican restaurant. I mean, you know what? I'm not going to question it. Jamaican jerk chicken is bloody good. Moment of truth. Click on the yellow man. I mean, we can tour the car park. Might not see a lot else today. I'll tell you what, this entrance to the stadium is a little bit of a throwback. This reminds me of some of the earlier seasons of Park to Prem, although Bristol Rugby, we are playing football today, aren't we? Okay, I found the other entrance. We are definitely in the right place. What I will say as well is shout out to Bristol Rovers for having a low fence so we can just peek over it and look at the grass. I mean, looking at this. This is a nice stadium. They really have committed, haven't they, to the blue and white kind of colour scheme. I mean, I say that. On a summer's day, looks lovely. If I just click over here, looks a bit more depressing in the spring, doesn't it? That is more of a turquoise than a blue. Maybe it got repainted between 2017 and 18. Even the bloody skip outside the stadium is blue and white. I am trying to pick faults here. Floodlight game is a little bit weak, Bristol Rovers. If you want to improve your floodlights, that might get you a better score. I thought maybe this road would give me another view of the stadium. I'll be honest, from this side, it does look a little bit less glamorous, doesn't it? I mean, I'll tell you what. It's not the grandest stadium in the world, but it's got a Jamaican restaurant connected to it. It's got a solid car park. Even the roofs are painted blue and white. I'm kind of disappointed the pitch isn't blue or something at this rate. But Bristol Rovers, nice stadium, okay facilities, solid car park, 5.75 out of 10. Right, now that the serious business is out of the way, down to the casual bit that's not so important, the actual playing of Football Manager. Bristol Rovers are in 7th, we're in 11th. This is going to be a test. If we win this, I start to believe that we are playoff worthy. So in terms of team news for today's game, I rested the players. We only played Newcastle 2 days ago, so a big turnaround here, but with a full-time squad, they are able to get fitter quicker than previous years, which is always nice. I think this is our best 11 on kind of any given day. I think that this is the team I'd go with. Last game I played Apia over Rodgers. Rodgers has not had the best start to his time at the club, and I felt like Apia's kind of quickness would probably be useful against Premier League opposition, but Rodgers is going to come back in today to play alongside McGrath. Obviously, Charlton in at right back, in on loan, not developing very well. Sorry, Coventry. Elsewhere in the team, Panny is going to start alongside Kelly and Stewart. And in the final third, Robbie Smith is going to come in, play out on that left-hand side. This man has 5 goals in 6 games in League 2. He's proving his worth. We talked about Brandon Charles and his 5 goals and 8 assists. Robbie somewhat in the shadow of Charles, has not had a bad start to the season ever. 4 goals and 1 assist for him. I mean, one thing that we've not been short of is goals. I'm going to hope we're going to see plenty today. Okay, free kick in a dangerous area. Stewart is going to be the man over it. The Roman playmaker probably going to have a go. Does have a go. Gets his 2nd goal of the season. I didn't know he had that in his locker. That was a ridiculous free kick. 6 minutes into this game, we've scored from the dead ball. And I mean, Stewart hits it over the wall into the top bins. Take a bow, my son. Has just occurred to me that they are playing not a similar shape to ours, but it's not a million miles away, is it? They've taken a striker from our formation and put them at centre-back. Going to be interesting to see how their 3 centre-backs match up against our 3 strikers, I suppose. But, well, with Smith still in the ball away there, I was about to say the early signs look good, but they are playing out the press really nicely. And in fact, Ndongo, through on goal, smashes it in. I mean, he's just destroyed the net. It's 1-1 here already. And that finish, that was an angry finish, wasn't it? There was a lot of rage in that shot. Nice build-up play, to be fair, by Bristol Rovers here. Caught a little bit out of shape. And Ndongo, though, pulls the trigger and, I mean, it's in off the cross, but the keeper's not stopping that, is he? Tell you what, so far in this game, Bristol Rovers have edged this out. Our 1 shot on target was the free kick that went in. At the same time, it's not like they're running away with it. The game appears to be just bogged down in the midfield a little bit. Maybe a chance for them to go long here, although we're coming away with it. Panny, I've bigged you up, Panny. You've scored 2 goals already for the club, this time involved in the build-up play, and Robbie has scored goal number 7, and Brandon Charles has just his 9th assist in the league. In, 7 league games? It's ridiculous. I think it's 6 league games. However many league games he's played, he's got more assists than matches played. Panny brought it out initially. Charles just dropped off his man, played it inside, and then that finish by Robbie it's not too shabby. Annoyingly good football being played by them, although on this occasion we have dealt with it. Ball played forward. Takes it down through the middle, picks out Brandon Charles, who turns on the afterburners, 1-on-1. Probably should have scored that. 1 minute left of this half. In fact, 50 seconds left of this half. I mean, doesn't quite work like that in football, does it? It's not like a hockey. We don't just sound a horn or blow the whistle as soon as the game is kind of at 2 minutes of added time played. Bristol Rovers with the ball, playing it forward towards Bain. Dangerous area here. Bristol Rovers have definitely been the better team. Played inside, and Briggs scores to make it 2-2. All these new defenders that I've signed and the whole defending thing, we still don't really do that well. I mean, it's fine. We'll just score more than them. It's 4 goals in the first half. It's entertainment, if nothing else. At half-time, I'm going to just tell the players I'm far from pleased. We don't need to overcomplicate it. Just a little bit of shoutiness. And immediately, a kick-off highlight. Why are we doing this to me, Football Manager? Why hurt me? I mean, if they score a goal right before half-time and right after half-time, I am just going to feel sad. Hull. Giving it wide to Hool, who plays it inside to Ndongo, who's already scored 1. This man is dangerous. Do not let him near the box. Rodgers wins his header. Hull, though, might still get there. Kelly helps it on his way. I mean, they've got Hull and Hull. They really are taking the mick, and now they've got a penalty. How many penalties have we given away in episodes? I should start a counter. I'm now looking at Rob Carlton in goal thinking, Rob, mate, do us a favour. Lawrence steps up for them. Oh, I thought for a second he was going to stop it. He went the right way, but the shot still finds the back of the net. I feel like there's probably still more goals in this game. This definitely has the feeling of one of those games that is just going to be a goal siesta. We're going to have loads of goals. Wait, a siesta's where you rest during the day. A fiesta, that's what I meant. That's a penalty. He pushed him over, ref. Okay, we've now got a penalty. Remain calm. Words are hard. Who's stepping up for us today? It's going to be Brandon Charles. This man never seems to score penalties. No idea why he's on this one. Let's not question it. It's 3-3. Probably should think about making some subs before too long in this game. It's been an absolutely crazy one so far, and I feel like there's more goals to come. Stewart, roaming playmaker, bringing it forward, lays it to Charlton. Panny inside to Charles, who squares it, and I mean, it's hit the defender and gone in. It's 4-3. I feel bad for them that one's the way we've scored. I mean, shout out to Charlton for this ball forward, and then Panny, really intelligent first-time pass. Charles was trying to square it to defender stuck out his leg. It's ended up in the back of the net. It's 4-3. Right, I am going to make some changes. Kelly's not had a particularly good game here. Let's bring in Slimani. Elsewhere, Ben AC is going to come in for Panny. Like I mentioned earlier, AC is learning to play as a centre mid. I mean, look, he came through the academy. Maybe I'm biased, but I think when you look at him as a centre mid on attack, he can do this role well enough for our team right now. So fresh legs in the midfield. Robbie Smith hasn't played too well either, so I'm going to bring in Owen Phillips, who of course is the kind of other left-footed striker in our team. More of a Robbie kind of player. Tall, lanky, not very quick, but can win a header. Bristol Rovers with the ball on the far side. It's going to be Hull with it, going down the line to Ndongo, who's already caused us issues today. He's got, well, a fair bit of pace, hasn't he, to break away there. Tries to pull it back to Lawrence, who nods it down. Briggs lays it. Wilkes hits it. And I'll tell you what, if they'd scored that, that would have been the goal of the day. I feel like we don't really deserve to be winning this game. It's one of those games where I feel like we're finishing everything that comes our way, and they're playing some nice football, but there's no end product. But we're not going to complain, and at this level, there is never any end product, but what there is penalties. It's a third penalty of the day, and it's going to be Brandon Charles over it. He's looking for another goal to add to his collection. If he makes it 5-3, I'll breathe a sigh of relief. He sent the keeper the wrong way again. He's gone a different direction to last time, but it's the same end result. Bristol Rovers trying to bring the ball out. I mean, they need 2 goals to get a draw in the next 5 minutes. And, well, in throwing men forward, they might leave themselves open at the back. Phillips, time and space. Can he pick out a ball of quality? Gives it to Williams, who tries to cross it in. It's not the best ball by the left back, but still in a dangerous area. And Brandon Charles has scored another. It's 6-3. I don't know how he's turned and pulled the trigger there, but I'm not going to question it. Remember last episode? Last episode I said I want episodes to be nearer 25 minutes long. I already know that this video is near the half an hour mark. It's not my fault that we've had 9 goals in this game. Like, I can't predict that. I can't anticipate that. Okay, 1 minute left. I'm going to say it. Okay. I was about to say, I think the goals have dried up. There could be time for a 10th. Could it be a 10-goal thriller? Could it end 6-4? Bristol Rovers put it into a dangerous area. It's still not away from danger. Hull crosses it in. It is a 10-goal thriller. It's going to finish 6-4 here, and it's full time. Wait, it was offside. It doesn't count, and then the game's ended immediately. Have you ever seen the last kick of the game be a disallowed goal? That might be a first for me on the Football Manager bingo. It's a 9-goal thriller. It's 6-3. Brandon Charles is blooming good, isn't he? I don't know if League 2 fantasy football is a thing that exists in the year what year is it in this say game? In the future. But if it does, you want our attackers in your fantasy football team because they will score your points in 2029. So Charles got 3 goals and an assist. That takes his tally for the season in 6 games to 8 goals and 9 assists. That's ridiculous. And with that result, by the way, we have now climbed into playoff contention alongside the likes of Bromley and Maidstone. And even Dagenham and Redbridge are up there. All the old guard teams we've played over the years of the Vanarama National League and below, they're all just vibing together in the playoff fight. It's quite fun. Like I said during that last game, I am trying to keep episodes a little bit shorter. Clearly, that's not really working out when we have games like the last one. But next time out, it might be a short. We'll try. Just looking ahead, not sure when we're going to be back next episode, but I think next episode I'm going to do a little bit of a kind of club and squad rundown because the team has changed quite a bit lately and I feel like it's important to have kind of anchor points and connections to different players within our team. On top of that, like I said before, we're going to do a little bit of an overview of English football as a whole, who's been winning what the Premier League's looking like, all that good stuff. So hopefully you're excited for that one. What it does mean is probably just one game next time, but if it's anything like the Bristol Rovers game, it'll be a classic instantly. If you have enjoyed today's video, do drop a like on things. I'm sorry we couldn't deliver on the 10-goal thriller, but I hope 9 goals was enough for you. The Newcastle game feels like a lifetime ago after that last game. Absolute madness today. Hopefully the madness continues tomorrow, and hopefully I see you guys then. Take it easy. Have a lovely rest of your Monday. It's me, Jack, and I'll talk to you all in a bit. I'm out.